Welcome back, everybody. I got a good one to talk about today, and this one is mostly talking about the concept of anxiety and why you should have a healthy relationship with your anxiety. You ever go wake up and see things and in your dreams, or you're just afraid of losing people, afraid of actually not gaining where you want to be in life or actually become something more? Or, a matter of fact, it could be anxiety for the future of where we're heading today, for instance. But a lot of people have a misconception of anxiety. Anxiety, in the psychological dictionary, is a constant worry in the back of the head, concept of losing something very, very valuable. But the thing is, sometimes those anxieties could destroy you, and people don't know how to handle it. How many of you guys that you've seen people just break out of nowhere, don't demonstrate any self-control because their anxiety is getting to them? To me, when I see people say, "Oh, my anxiety is making me do this," you're just blaming something else. You don't have control of yourself. You don't. And when you don't have control of yourself, in my eyes, you don't know how to handle things the healthy way. You know, you don't know how to control yourself. It's the same thing as people who are eating a lot of food and they don't know how to pause it. You know, they just overeat. It's the exact same concept. But why am I talking about anxiety? Why am I bringing this up? Anxiety is just a emotion of feeling that you're going to lose something valuable. It is. Just think about it. Just think about it for a minute. We're always afraid of what's going to happen. I'm afraid of what's going to happen, always. Sometimes I post videos or posting of things I'm afraid of what's going on with this. Like, let's say, country, the politics sphere, or what else? Even my everyday life, I get a little anxious. But but no, let's really talk about this. And this is a really good topic to talk about. Like, anxiety is an emotion response towards afraid. It's you're just basically afraid of things, and it's okay. Now, how to counterintuitive that is having a healthy relationship with anxiety. Let me repeat. You have to have a healthy relationship with your anxiety. What did I mean by that? No therapist. Well, I mean, hold on, I'm overstepping myself, but backtracking. What I mean by this is you have to be understanding the concept of losing things and what are you going to do about it. There's things to actually see that there's some stuff that are out of your control, and there's some things that are in your control. And I think the problem is, for today, is we're so amped up on everything because we see the most violent, the most depraved, the most unhumane thing in the internet, because it's not just negativity, it's just amping you up, including me, man. Like, it kind of messed me up, and not just that, I get depressed after that. It just doesn't help out the fact that we have to deal with this. But no, this is a concept that a lot of people don't understand. Anxiety is just a fear. we got to have a healthy relationship with that. In other words, you have to be willing to see what's the fundamental problem, why are you afraid of this, and figure out a way to make things better in your control. Because sometimes there's things you can't do. For instance, the bill has passed last week of being uneligible for birth rates. I'm against that. I mean, what can you do? Personally, I want to have I have a lot of thoughts I want to do, but realistically, I don't think people are going to do anything. That's just the sad part. And it's almost 4th of July. People are excited to talk about the revolution back then, and we became fighters, freedom fighters, and that's fun and dandy, but you're not freedom fighters today, in my opinion. But that's another topic. But anxiety is a fundamental key point to actually override your bliss. In other words, if you know how to tune it and follow it and understand it and use it as your, what do you call it, a drive, then that's healthy. It's the same thing with anger. It's okay to be, here's a good question. Do you know why people get angry? It's because they feel powerless. When you're angry, you feel powerless. You can't do anything about it, so you get mad about it. But you can't let that anger get to you. But the thing is, you can use it as fuel to make something better out of it. For instance, if you're mad about how you've been treated at work, then you should use that as fuel to make yourself better. In other words, be your own boss. And that's a lot of hard work. That's a little bit more, it's really hard to understand, you know? But you have to be okay of letting that not get to you and use that as fuel to make you the best person you could possibly be. Because I'm really against this like therapy stuff, like talking about your things that are never going to make you better. What makes you better is actually understanding it, you know? And people don't understand, especially these therapists. I hate to say it, and I'm bashing it, and it's true. You could leave the thoughts and comments about it down below, but they're mostly women. Why should I talk about my problems with a woman? That's just my way I think about it. You should have like a healthy group of men that you could talk about your stuff in private, and then actually do that, you know. But honestly, backtracking to anxiety, not all stress and anxiety is equal. Sometimes it makes you smarter, stronger, and more relentless in tough situations. It's a very good tool to have. It's a very good way to master yourself really, really well. But how many of you guys actually understand this key toward of anxiety? We used pills to numb it, but it will always come back. Or we use alcohol, or what do you call it? Breathable outlets, I'm going to say. There we go. And this is just suppressing things. Anxiety is a tool to make you better. You should follow your anxiety instead of your bliss, because it will bring out the true potential of your inner self. And not just that, you could see what you can do in the future, and you could prevent things from happening. It's like a superpower almost. You could prevent things from happening if you can start now. But suppressing it and leaving it in the dark is just going to get louder. And that's the thing a lot of people don't understand. Because there's a lot of people who says, I can't control my anxiety. Yes, you can. You just don't want to. That's the bottom line. Everybody has this anxiety stuff and this negative thoughts, but you need to master it as much as you can. I tried to talk about everything. I mean, obviously, there's some stuff that I have a lot of opinions about the world, but I consider myself as a little bit a realist, but at the same time, I'm not pessimistic. I just think it's important to understand the true evil in this world in order for you to be the best you could possibly be. In other words, anxiety is one of it. It's the evil of the self, but you need to understand the fact that you have to master it. If you don't, you will be burned. It's the same thing with rage. Do you know how many people can't even control their anger or their temper? People don't even master that. It's funny. It's okay to be mad about things, but if you're not being productive about it, then you're just, in my opinion, useless. You need to be stoic. Everybody needs to be stoic. Every person, if you're a man, you need to learn how to be stoic. You need to learn how to control your temper and your anxiety, because you know why? It will make you stronger in the long run. And if you don't master it now, it's just going to get louder and worse. So next time, if you ever go walk around this world talking about or hearing people talking about their problems with anxiety, just remind them that they control it. And if they make excuses, that's just a weak person. And one of my favorite Stoic philosopher, I forget his name, I think it's Marcus Aurelius. He even says this, and I quote, I think it's in the meditation of Marcus Aurelius, and he says, it's just, life is just a battlefield. It's just like a pro wrestler. You fall down, get up, get up and fight some more. Try to make yourself strong, because without this, that's all you could achieve. And I totally agree with that. That's what we need to be. We need to actually master ourselves much, much more in order to see what our true potential is. When I mean that, it's not about physical strength. It's also the inner strength too. You want to keep your mind strong. You want to be your ideal self. This is what your ideal self should be. It should be uncorruptible. No one can move you. Not even the dictators of the world. Not even the propaganda. You're supposed to be unmovable. And a lot of people, it's really hard to master. And that's the main goal, is to be unmovable. Because without that, that's all you could achieve. Life is not about living happy. Life is about living like a hero of purpose, a person with heroic features. And that's what I want to bring into this video, is to talk about everybody has a heroic journey. You just have to be willing to listen to it and actually be part of something more than who you are. And the first thing you have to take out is anxiety. And that's all I got for this video. If you like this message, please subscribe. I appreciate it. And please leave me down your comments below. I love to read your guys' thoughts. Again, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Stay cool out there.